What's up traders? Welcome to weekly trade setup video. In this video, I'm going to give a complete multi-time frame analysis of the hottest currency pairs that we will be looking to trade next week. The currency pair that we will be analyzing today are gold, Euro GBP, Euro dollar, GBP USD, GBP CHF and NZD CHF. If this is something you are interested, then smash the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, press the bell notification button so that you don't miss out any of the content that I release almost few times every week. Also, you can visit my website www.forextradingwizard.com where you can find completely free trading lessons, and also there are some advanced strategies that you might be interested. Before I begin, just a quick disclaimer is that this is my own opinion about the market, and at any point the market may do completely different than what I have analyzed. So make sure you do your own analysis and also manage your risk if you trade according to this analysis. With that said, let's jump into it. First, let's start with Euro GBP on the monthly time frame, because remember, monthly, weekly or higher time frame will give you a clear direction in the market. Daily, 4-hour and lower time frame you can use for the entry, and that is the perfect way to trade an instrument with a high probability. So with that said, on the monthly, first of all, let's see what is the market structure. This is the first thing you always have to pay attention. What is the market structure? So Euro GBP, if you see the bigger picture, what you see that Euro GBP in a downtrend. So how do you know? First of all, look at this. There is a big consolidation, and after that, what do you see? That the price is currently breaking to the downside. So this is the market structure. There has been a strong impulse followed by this green candle, and there has been another impulse followed by this retracement to narrow candles. Now what we see that Euro GBP in another impulsive phase. So this is the market structure. Now if we narrow down to the recent time frame, this candle, this current month, just candle is closing this month. So what we have seen that Euro GBP had printed this strong bearish candle. So after this kind of candle, what you can expect the price to drop further from after a little bit of retracement. So Euro GBP on the monthly, we see a strong bearish momentum. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what kind of price action we have. Now on the weekly, what we see that Euro GBP has a very interesting price action, because if you see that there has been a long consolidation on the weekly, after this followed by this strong long doji candle, and back to back we see strong bearish momentum. Now what happened on the last trading week? This candle is a perfect hanging man. So what do you see? That the price broke to the downside, created this green candle followed by this long hanging man. So after this hanging man, as you can see that this hanging man is just below this strong weekly support. So you can see that there is a support here, support here. Now this support is acting as a resistance for this candle. So on the weekly, after this hanging man, what you can expect? A little bit of retracement and then dropping to the downside. So on the weekly as well, Euro GBP has a bearish momentum. Now let's jump on to daily time frame to see what kind of price action we have. Now on the daily, as you can see that it has created already a double top formation. Now in this double top, you see that there is this is the weekly resistance here and support here, resistance here, and we can expect a drop. As you can see that the price already rejected from this area. Now this is where you have to be very careful, because if you trade from here directly, not a good idea, because the instrument very unlikely that you will straight down from here. Instead, what it might create a head and shoulder pattern. Remember, the trader, a real trader, are who can see the pattern before it happens. What it might happen that it will go up little bit, create a head and shoulder pattern, and then will drop. So this will be the head, this is the left shoulder, and this is the right shoulder, and that is when we will be entering our trade. If it doesn't create any head and shoulder straight down from here, we will let the trade go. There will be a lot of trade that you need to just let it go. If this instrument is managed to rise a little bit of up and create a head and shoulder on the lower time frame, at that point we'll take a short trade inside of this area with a high probability our stop loss will be above all this resistance, and our take profit will be at least 1 to 3 and 1 to 5. Now I believe that you are enjoying this analysis. Smash the like button now, and let's jump on to another instrument, that is euro dollar. Now let's see how euro dollar is behaving. Now starting with the as usual monthly time frame, because monthly will give you a clear picture in the market. So on the monthly, what you see that euro dollar, first of all let's see bigger picture. What you see that this is a strong level of resistance. So there is a resistance here, now there is a resistance here. In this resistance, first we are looking at the bigger picture, that's why you have to see overall, and then we will narrow down. So in this resistance, what you see that the price has created a double top formation here. So this is a one top, this is another top. After this double top, as usual, what you can see that a breakout to the downside. Now this strong red candle is a perfect bearish engulfer. Now after this bearish engulfer, what you see, a weak response from the buyer, followed by back to back now 3 red candles, saying that sellers are very strong in this market. So as usual, what you can expect, the next one to follow by the previous one. So on the monthly we see strong bearish momentum. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. Now on the weekly, as you can see that the market structure is a bit clear. Starting from here, what you see, the price is creating like this lower high and lower low. So with that said, you see that in this low, the previous, this is the support here, tested as a resistance in this zone and then drop. Now what we see that just the previous week, this red candle, this is also a strong bearish engulfer. In this bearish engulfer, what you see that previous support here, now tested as a resistance here. So in this after this resistance, what you can expect, the next one to be a little bit of retracement and then to drop. So on the weekly as well, we see a bearish momentum. Going down to the daily time frame to see how we can trade this instrument. Now this is where you have to take your entry decision on the daily or lower time frame, that means on the 4 hour. Now as you can see that it has a strong bearish engulfer on the daily as well. So what is likely to happen is on the new trading week, this instrument to create head and shoulder as well. So the price to rise up little bit and create a head and shoulder and then drop in this fashion. So what we will be doing with our student is to wait for the price to come in this area. As soon as the price will reach and complete this head and shoulder pattern, at that point we will take a short trade from this area with a very good risk to reward ratio with our students. Now let's jump on to another currency pair that we will be now analyzing is GBPUSD. Now GBPUSD, like euro dollar, also in a strong bearish momentum. Now let's start with the first monthly time frame. Now as you can see that on the monthly, GBPUSD also has created a reversal pattern. Now in this reversal pattern, this is the reversal pattern on the monthly. This is a head and shoulder pattern. So after this head and shoulder pattern, what you can expect? The price to break to the downside, and that is what happened. Now this is the overall picture. What is happening in the previous months? Now previous months, GBPUSD has created this green candle. Now in this green candle there is a significance. The significance is that this green candle basically tested this neckline of this head and shoulder pattern. This is a support here, support here. Now it has tested as a resistance and then rejected to the downside, because when you see a head and shoulder pattern like this break to the downside, in most cases you will see that this instrument is going up to test this previous support as a resistance finally before moving to the downside. With that said, GBPUSD primarily rejected from this area and then dropped to the downside. Now let's jump on to weekly time frame, where we can see a bit clear picture. Now on the weekly, as you can see my previous analysis, previous week's analysis, what I say that GBPUSD will drop from here, from this zone, and that is what exactly happened. You can see this analysis, how accurately it has been worked out, exactly the way I told. Now at this point, as you can see that this week the price has created another bearish engulfer. So what is likely to happen? As you know that the monthly candle is closed, also this weekly candle is closed. So in the new trading week, we might see a little bit of retracement to this zone, complete this head and shoulder and then drop. Now this is the most liquidity zone. You see that this weekly there is a gravestone doji, and what you might see, the price to again go up there, testing this level, grabbing liquidity from here and then dropping to the downside to continue its downtrend. Now let's jump on to daily time frame. Now this is where we see that the price has created this red candle, which is a bearish engulfer with a double top, triple top, or head and shoulder, what you want to call it. It is a reversal pattern here as well. So on the new trading week, what we will be doing is for the price to retrace a little bit up, test this previous resistance, support as a resistance. So this is the resistance, this green candle, the price to come here. We will be waiting patiently with our student. As soon as we will see the prices here based on lower time frame, we'll take a short trade from this area with a very good risk to reward ratio. Now let's start analyzing GBPCHF, and then we will analyze NZDCHF. Finally at the end we will analyze gold. So stay tuned to see all the pairs, how they may evolve in the upcoming week. Now let's start with GBPCHF on the monthly time frame. Now on the monthly, as you can see that GBPCHF also in a strong downtrend. See the overall picture. What you see that this is a perfectly textbook downtrending market. Starting from here, you see that the price was creating something like this, which is a strong downtrending signal on the higher time frame. Every time the price is creating a lower high and lower low. So let's narrow down to the recent time frame. What we are seeing that, look at this, what happened here after this green impulse to the upside, followed by a strong bearish engulfer. The price every time creating a lot of dodges and consolidating in this area. Now when you see this kind of consolidation, what you can expect to decelerate and drop to the downside. Now see the pattern of these candles, monthly doji candles. What you see that in most cases this dodges is creating a lower high and lower low. When you see a pattern like this, you can expect slowly to break to the downside, and it could be a very strong breakout. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. Now on the weekly, as you can see that after this impulse followed by a correction, now we see another impulse. We might expect another correction, and then we might see another impulse to the downside and likely to drop and break to the downside, but we might not see straight breakout from here. Instead, what we can see that you see that GBPCHF is respecting this dynamic trend line, and there has been a false breakout to the upside. So in the new trading week, we might see a little bit of uprise to this level and then drop to the downside. Now let's see on the lower time frame how we can find a trading opportunity. Now on the daily, as you can see that there has been a green candle followed by a strong gravestone doji, and now we see a strong breakout to the downside. So how we will be approaching this instrument? As you know that this is a long consolidation market, and we might see a breakout to the downside. So what we will be patiently waiting for the price to come in this area, because you see that there is a daily gravestone doji. This is a very high liquidity zone. If the price managed to retrace to this level, we might see a strong breakout from this area, and that is what we will be waiting. We will be waiting for the price to travel in this area. If price managed to come to this zone, only in that case we'll take a short trade from this area with a very good risk to reward ratio, and we might target 1 to 5, even 1 to 10, because if this instrument breaks out, it will be a big one, so it will break to the downside a lot. So that is what we will be waiting with GBPCHF. Now let's start NZDCHF, how it might unfold a trading opportunity. Now let's see first of all on the monthly time frame. As you can see that NZDCHF on the monthly, in bigger picture also, it is in a downtrend. As you see that the price was creating a lower high and lower low along this trend line and dropping to the downside. So now let's narrow down to recent time frame. That means that current month, this monthly candle is already closed. On the new trading week, we might see a new candle. So from here we can expect a drop, because as you can see that this NZDCHF already in a top, and there is nothing on the upside because it's a downtrending market. Now going down to weekly time frame, what do you see that NZDCHF on the weekly, you see that the previous week has created a doji. Now in this doji you can find an important clue. The clue is that this doji couldn't cross this high and already crossed the previous low. That means that the previous week the price couldn't create any new higher high and has created lower low. That means that this instrument is likely to reverse on the weekly as well, so we can expect a drop. Now let's jump on to daily time frame to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. Now on the daily, as you can see that this strong narrow dragonfly doji. Now what is likely to happen in NZDCHF in the new trading week, that we might see straight dropping from this area at least to this level in the first day or even the second day. So this is what we will be waiting. Let's see on the 4-hour time frame for this instrument how we can find a trading opportunity. Now as you see that this is the line that we are expecting this instrument to respect in the new trading week. So only because it is NZD is normally a bit a strong currency, CHF also strong currency, so strong with a strong is not always going in a good way. So what we will be cautious in this instrument. We'll see that if the price manage to come in this area and we see a little something like this, any kind of price action pattern that shows that this instrument is likely to fall, at that point we will take a short trade from this area with a very good risk to reward ratio to take this move to the downside. Now let's start gold to do a complete analysis and see how this precious metal can provide a trading opportunity. Now first of all, start with, as usual, monthly time frame. Now monthly, what do we see that gold, as I explained in quite a few of my analysis, that you see that there is a 3 back-to-back monthly candle close with a dragonfly doji here. What happened this month? The price traveled there exactly from this point, grab liquidity, and we see a strong rejection to the downside. So as a result, in the new month, the price will open here. What you might expect, the little bit of retracement and then continue its downward journey. Now let's jump on to weekly time frame to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. Now on the weekly, as you see that this instrument, it was moving down along this channel. So this is the channel that is moving, and we see that this channel is basically protected here. You see that this is a strong resistance and the price couldn't break this level. That is what I mentioned in some of my analysis, that if this instrument is managed to break this resistance, we might see a different story. But instead, what we see that this current week basically couldn't even break the previous week's high, and instead it has created a doji. So from here, what you can expect, as usual, to drop. So on the weekly, we see a downward momentum. Now let's jump on to daily time frame to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. Now on the daily, as you see that after this uprise, the buyers couldn't do much. They're normally exhausted, and instead of creating any new higher high, the price has created in fact a head and shoulder in this area and then broke to the downside. So this is a daily time frame. Now let's jump on to 4 hour to see a clear trading opportunity. Now this is where we can see a bit more clear picture and how we will be planning this instrument. Let's draw this channel that the price was moving along. So this is the downward line of the channel and this is the upward channel. The gold was moving along this channel. And also let's draw this trend line here. So this is what we will be waiting with our student, that as you can see that this channel is clearly broken to the downside here. Now after this breakout, what you can expect that the price go ahead and then test this support as a resistance and then drop. And now that is what we will be patiently with our student, is that the price to move in this area. So if the price managed to move in this area, what we will be doing with our student is we will watch this instrument closely to see any kind of rejection from this resistance. As soon as we will see rejection, we will take a short trade from this area to the downside with a very good risk to reward ratio with our students. Thank you for watching. These are the all currency pairs that we are looking to trade next week. Now if you find value in this analysis, then smash the like button for me and also drop a comment below what other instrument you think that this week will provide a trading opportunity. Thank you once again. See you with another video soon.